Hi guys, welcome back to Fragments of a Simple Life, where every video I make is super simple. I know I just did a magazine video a few days ago, but that was the other magazine. This one is just America's Scariest Places, haunted, creepy, and abandoned. Up here on the top, you can see that I have my post-its. For every story I read, I put a post-it so that we don't repeat ourselves. And since we're getting closer and closer to Halloween, I figured, why not keep going with these magazines while I have time? Let's open it up and get started with some more scary stories. They're not that scary, more interesting than scary. Per usual, I'm just gonna flip through the pages and find something to read about. We have Lizzie Borden's house on the left-hand side, but we did already do that story. Feel free to go to my magazine playlist and you'll be able to find it pretty easily. Right now we're going to read for this side. This is in St. Francisville, Louisiana. It's called Myrtles Plantation. Spirits of the southern past lurk in the antebellum mansion, or antebellum. It says, oh wait, let's read the caption first. It says, a mirror in the hallway supposedly holds the spirits of owners Sarah Woodruff and 2 of her children. They are said to leave handprints, while some claim to see faces. Well, I don't like this little doll that's right in front of it. That's not helpful. It says, built atop a Native American burial ground, the 227-year-old plantation house is the epitome of old Southern hospitality. But it can't escape the specter of death as its most famous resident. I apologize for the car sound. The ghost of an enslaved girl named Chloe flits about wearing a green turban. She supposedly incurred the wrath of the lady of the house, Sarah Woodruff, perhaps by sleeping with Sarah's husband, Clark, or perhaps by having a habit of listening through keyholes to the family's private discussions, and, as punishment, she had one of her ears cut off. Yikes. It says, thus the turban to hide it. Legend has it that in revenge, Chloe poisoned Sarah and 2 of her daughters before she was killed by her fellow slaves. Wow. In one of the many spooky tales attached to the Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana, which is now operated as a unique hotel and attraction with a chef-driven restaurant that serves the best wood-fired cooking to go along with its ghostly happenings, disembodied footsteps, children's screams, and a jangling chandelier. At night, some hear the stairs creaking where a plantation manager who had been shot on the porch and stumbled into the house in 1871 supposedly collapsed and died on the 17th step. When former owner Frances Kermeen and her then husband James bought the home in 1980, she knew little of the property's history, but I got a crash course on her second night when a black woman in a turban woke her in the middle of the night. I lost it. I started screaming, she told the Mysterious Universe podcast. I reached my hand out to touch her. I could tell she was a ghost because she was see-through. But as my hand passed through her, she faded away. Chloe even seems to appear in the famous photo taken in 1992, standing between the general store and the butler's pantry, though she's not the only spirit caught on camera. One visitor snapped an eerie picture that seems to show a girl in a dress looking out a window. I'm not going to stay there, but I also kind of want to. Lots of history. Okay, let's turn the page like we usually do and find something else. Okay, I turned right to this. I guess it wants to be read. It says Monro, Connecticut, Warren's Occult Museum. Uh-oh. I think this is like the Warrens, right? What is her name? The husband and wife team? It says voted the most haunted museum in the world. Holy crap. Okay, touting its more than 3,000 verified haunted artifacts, the Museum of Shadows in Omaha, Nebraska offers not only scary dolls, coffins, Ouija boards, and other items guaranteed to tingle the spine, but actually frights in real time. Full figure apparitions of men, women, and children have been seen daily, the museum says. Many have been pushed by unseen forces, and at night the sounds of laughter, yelling, and footsteps have been heard. Although the museum, which is run by husband and wife, Nate, a demonologist, and Kaylee, a medium, it's open to all ages. Strongly recommended only for mature visitors. So it's open for all ages, but don't take your kids, is what I'm guessing they mean. Okay. It says this is I think this has to be the Warren's house. Okay, it says, is Annabelle doll dying to get out of her locked glass case? I've seen this in other like haunted videos and stuff on YouTube and also TV shows. It says a year after local officials ordered the Cult Museum in Monro, Connecticut to close its doors, word swept the internet that its prized exhibit, the doll that inspired the Annabelle horror films, got restless and escaped. This would be completely in character for the sinister Raggedy Ann, said to be possessed by the spirit of a 7-year-old named Annabelle Higgins, which reportedly had a habit of moving about the house, leaking blood and giving the evil eye. No. But alas, it turned out to just be another online hoax. Annabelle did not escape, said Tony Spira, who oversees the collection. Annabelle's alive. Well, I shouldn't say alive. Annabelle's here in all her infamous glory, as are the museum's other creepy items collected over the years by well-known paranormal investigators, Ed and Lorraine Warren. That's their names. Investigating tens of thousands of cases of paranormal activity, the Warrens, Ed, was a religious demonologist, and his wife, Lorraine, was a medium, became famous. They probed the infamous Amityville horror house and inspired the successful The Conjuring movie franchise. In the 1950s, they opened the museum behind their house, which is right here. The collection includes reputed vampire coffins, demonic masks, a conjuring mirror that shows reflections of spirits, an organ from a haunted house, and all sorts of items the couple used to say were touched by evil. Why would you want that on your property? That's what I don't understand. The marquee item was the Annabelle doll below left, which the Warrens said really did terrorize a family, even if in real life the doll looked considerably less malevolent. Just a regular Raggedy Ann than the Google-eyed demon doll of the films. Looks are deceiving, Lorraine once told USA Today. It's not what the doll looks like that makes it scary. It's what has been infused within the doll. Evil. Okay, here's what I don't understand. If it's the spirit of a 7-year-old girl that's inside the doll, what's so evil about a 7-year-old? I have a 7-year-old. Someone has to tell me. Okay. The toy once belonged to a nurse who put it on a bed in her apartment and became convinced the doll changed positions. One day, the nurse found a note on a parchment on the floor reading, "Help me, help us." A male visitor to the house awoke to find his body was covered in scratches. The Warrens investigated the matter and concluded the doll was manipulated by an inhuman presence, according to their website. Truly, the spirit was not looking to stay attached to the doll. It was looking to possess a human host. Okay. I don't know if I believe any of that. Both the Warrens have since passed away, Ed in 2006 at 79 and Lorraine in 2019 at 92. Their son-in-law handles the museum and leads the New England Society for Psychic Research. But in 2019, the museum faced a force even more formidable than the menacing spirit, was a local zoning board which ordered the facility shut down. It's not a museum, it's a residential house. The street's very narrow public roadway is inadequate for parking of any commercial enterprise. Okay, so it's an inconvenience to the neighbors. Serpra, which is the grandson, added more signage in an attempt to quell curious visitations from fans and more security cameras and lights, but the museum currently remains closed, though he did allow Annabelle some time away. In 2022, the doll and other artifacts were shipped 75 miles away to in Caseville, Connecticut for a paranormal convention. Guests were occasionally allowed to visit the museum. When journalists from CT Insider toured the space in September 2022, they were required to bless themselves with holy water before stepping inside. I don't know if I believe that. At least I don't want to believe it. Okay, let's find our third story. Okay. I turned to one side that I already did. Oh, look who it is. It's Ed and Lorraine Warren. Again. Twice in one magazine. Okay. This is St. Paul's Church Cemetery in Key West, Florida. The ghost of an angry sea captain doesn't take kindly to visitors. It's a really pretty picture. And up in the corner it says, many have had mysterious and even frightening encounters, writes the Ghost and Gravestones website. This is a place where spirits roam, looking to haunt all who visit. St. Paul's, and I can never say this word, it says St. Paul's Episcopal, however that word you say, church, is in Key West, Florida, has seen its share of disasters over the years. A violent hurricane blew it down. Only 8 years after, it was constructed out of coral rock in 1883 or 1838, and the Great Fire of Key West destroyed the rebuilt wooden building in 1886. It's cursed. But it has always bounced back, not only as an active church community, but as a prime destination for ghost hunters and fans of the supernatural. This place looks familiar to me too. The paranormal fame of St. Paul's is not due to the white church itself, but to its cemetery, which has been the site of numerous strange sightings. One of the most famous ghosts is a man dressed in the height of the 1800s fashion who wanders around the grounds in a cloudy white haze. Some think this is the spirit of John Fleming, whose wife donated the land for the church and cemetery, and whose grave was disturbed during the numerous church expansions and renovations over the years. Well, yeah, if you believe in any of this, wouldn't you think that disturbing someone's burial spot might tick them off? I'm just saying. Other spectral residents include an angry sea captain who tries to drive out curious visitors with blasts of cold wind from the tree next to his grave, and several children who burned to death in the fire in the church that was set, according to legend, by the pastor who suspected his wife was having an affair with one of the deacons. Yikes. Drama. These children have been seen huddled around a statue of an angel as if they're seeking shelter from the flames. That's depressing. Stuff that involves children is always so depressing. Okay, I think we're on story 4. Let's go look. We read that one. Okay, we have 2 in this haunted hotel section. Let's read this one on the left. Eureka Springs, Arkansas, 1886 Crescent Hotel and Spa. The stately building has a gruesome history as a cancer hospital run by a charlatan. Oh no, see? In 2019, a gardener unearthed more than 400 bottles containing specimens from Norman Jean Baker's morgue room, as well as grotesque surgical tools. Ew. It's funny because the first sentence talks about ghost hunters, and I've been rewatching that show. It's on Netflix now. If you're curious, they have 2 seasons of that old show, Ghost Hunters. It made me excited, and I've been watching it on and off like all weekend. But anyways, fans of the TV show Ghost Hunters will recognize the 1886 Crescent Hotel and Spa in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. It was here that host Grant Wilson captured a thermal image of a full life-size apparition standing right next to him. But who was this ghost when it was alive? The most likely answer is a man named Norman G. Baker, a radio personality and inventor who bought the hotel in 1937. Baker converted the building and the grounds into the Baker Hospital and Health Resort, offering patients a revolutionary new cure. Of course, it was a scam. The patients didn't get better, and Baker used this as an excuse to try increasingly bizarre and painful surgical experiments on his guests. Eventually, he was arrested and sent to jail. The location of Ghost Hunter's thermal apparition was the cancer hospital's morgue. Other possible spiritual holdovers from the Baker years includes Theodora, a cancer patient who has been seen spotted more than once fumbling with keys into the room where she died. Brecky, an orphan daughter of a couple who died at the hospital, who has been spotted running down the halls bouncing a red ball. Maybe I'm thinking of Ghost Hunters. I've seen somebody investigate this and they brought a red ball. It might have been Ghost Hunters, I don't remember. Wherever was I left off? Oh, and Morris, an orange tabby cat ghost who roams the rooms and plays in the lobby. According to Bill Ott, the hotel director of marketing and communications, the most requested active room in the hotel is room 218. Michael, the Irish stonemason's room. He is said to have died in the footprint of that room into which he fell while helping build the Crescent Hotel in 1885. The establishment now markets itself as America's most haunted hotel and offers daily ghost tours. So I guess you don't have to actually stay there to get a tour of the place. But yeah, I've seen other people. It might not be Ghost Hunters, the show, but I've seen other people stay in this hotel, bring a red ball with them, and stay in room 218. I've seen it. Okay, I think we're on story 5. This is like the extra stories. I'm gonna skip over those and stay with the main ones. Okay, here. Oh no. No, this is. No. Okay, no, I don't want to read that. There's clowns. I want to go back to the beginning, I think, actually. See if I can find something I haven't read yet. Nope, we read both of those. Here we go. A page that we haven't seen yet. Alright. Let's read the one on the right. I think you pronounce it Whaley House in San Diego. A historic mansion has a rich history of restless ghosts. It looks really old. It says, I got literally knocked on my butt by someone in the Whaley house. Paranormal investigator Dave Schrader told the San Diego Union Tribune. Ew, this is creepy. This is the family. Okay, it says, of all the places that Thomas Whaley could have built his family's estate in 1857, why did he have to pick the former site of San Diego's first public gallows? Ew. I've seen people investigate this place too. The outside looks really familiar. Maybe that's why shortly after Whaley, his wife Anna, and their 3 children moved in, thief and murderer Yankee Jim Robinson could be heard stomping around on the wooden floors in the heavy boots, even though he was strung up by the neck and hanged until he was dead back in 1852. So like 5 years before they bought the property. Or why talk show host Regis Philbin would encounter what he called this white thing that was floating in front of me while he was filming a local San Diego morning show at the house in 1964. You know, a lot of people poo poo it because they can't see it, he said, but there's something going on in that house. Even veteran paranormal investigator Dave Schrader from the Travel Channel got the fright of his fright-filled career when he bumped up against something that had to have come from the afterlife. It really rattled me, he told the San Diego Union Tribune. For some 150 years, the ghosts have been scaring folks in this Greek revival house in the city's Old Town district. It started when with the Whaleys hearing Yankee Jim, and endured long after their own deaths. Along with its location with a grim history, the house has seen a number of tragic deaths and suicides plaguing the Whaley family, including a son who died of scarlet fever and a daughter who took her own life. Anna herself is said to return in spectral form, accompanied by the lustrous smell of Christmas dinners she used to cook in the house, and a man's cigar smoke drifts through the rooms despite a no smoking sign, and above visitors' heads a chandelier swings even when there's no breeze. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people investigate this house. It's very familiar. If you go on YouTube, you can probably find a lot of people who have investigated this place. Quite a few. Okay, let's see if we can find more in the front. The Axe Murder House. Okay, I'm scared because I don't like what it's called. This is a place in Iowa. It says somebody brutally murdered 8 people in 1912 in a case that remains unsolved. Oh no. Okay. The murder scene was so disturbing that a doctor who inspected the bodies warned those gathered outside, "Don't go in there, boys. You'll regret it until the last day of your life." That's what the little caption says. It looks like such an inspected, like who would think anything of it? Like if you didn't put this literal like axe murder house like sign up, like you wouldn't think that anything happened there. Like you wouldn't know. That's like the creepiest part of all. It's not like some raggedy, like scary place, like a haunted house. Sorry guys, I yawned. It says, it's the coldest of cold cases and the most notorious mass murder in Iowa history, and one that despite countless police interviews and 2 formal trials has gone stubbornly unsolved for more than 100 years. The facts are as well documented as they are horrifying. Sometime in the evening of Sunday, June 9th, 1912, somebody carrying an oil lamp in one hand and an axe in the other slaughtered 2 adults and 6 children in a neat white house in rural, Bisica, 100 miles southwest of Des Moines. The victims included the home's owners, prominent businessman Josiah Moore, his wife Sarah, whose heads were hacked with an axe with such force that the weapon nicked the ceiling on the upswing. The killer then went into the next bedroom and killed all 4 of the Monro children, ages 5 to 11, before going downstairs to murder 2 friends, ages 8 and 13, of the eldest daughter, Mary Catherine. The gruesome crime seemed senseless and the evidence bizarre. A 4-pound piece of bacon was left next to the axe, and the mirrors in the house were covered in clothing taken from the dresser drawers. None of the neighbors heard anything. The Moore family had no known enemies. As police chased leads, the most promising suspect appeared to be a mentally addled pastor named Lynn George Jacqueline Kelly, who signed a confession then recanted. His first trial ended in a deadlocked jury. He was acquitted in a retrial. Other possible suspects were considered, but none went on trial. And today the house operates as a bed and breakfast with a reputation for creepy goings-on, with the ghosts of those slain said to be restless and nosy with a lack of justice. Several paranormal investigators have picked up on voices on recordings, with one demanding that they leave! Exclamation point. One man stayed at the home overnight in 2014, claimed he'd been alone in the bedroom trying to provoke the ghost, when the next thing he knew, he woke up in the emergency room with a stab wound to his chest. The man had brought a knife with him for protection, but claimed he had no memory of how it came to be injured. Investigators later obtained it was a self-inflicted stabbing. So did like a ghost make him stab himself? Or did he do it for attention because he was trying to be like spooky? I'm gonna go with he did it for attention. Okay, let's see if we can find one more. Oh, this is a very well-known Sally house. I think I just watched something on YouTube where they were investigating the Sally house. Let's read all about it. We'll start with the caption. It says, I couldn't believe that the ghost could do physical harm. It was really shocking. Former resident Deborah Pickman told Ghost Adventures of the bloody attacks on her husband. This is in Kansas. It says, the resident ghost hates men, and for good reason. Some houses require visitors to take off their shoes before entering. This 19th century home demands the signing of a liability waiver. As the owners explain, a waiver is required due to the potential for personal injury, though no serious injuries have been reported since the last tenants. The occupants of this house, once used as a doctor's office, has long been convinced it was haunted. But things turned nasty after a young couple moved into the home in 1993. Within months, their dog started growling for no apparent reason. The room where the surgeries were once performed turned eerily cold. Then, one night, the husband was attacked. He suffered scratches to his chest and stomach that were so deep he bled. During the day, when he entered a room, objects seemed to move, yet his wife was never touched. Dubbed the man-hating ghost, this aggressive and angry spirit is believed to be that of a young girl named Sally who died a horrible death. Built in the mid-1800s, the house served as an office and residence of a physician, with checkups and surgeries conducted on the ground floor, and the upstairs rooms used as a living space for him and his family. Legend has it that one day a frantic mama arrived with her young daughter, Sally, complaining of stomach pain. Suspecting the child had a burst appendix, the doctor operated quickly, apparently too quickly. He took the scalp to Sally before the anesthesia had kicked in. Her final breaths were screams of agony. Nobody lives there now except for Sally, who continues to make mischief. The house is available for ghost tours and has been featured on such shows as Ghost Adventures, where paranormal investigators noted a dark, creepy energy in the nursery, pictured below, and visitors have reported moving objects, electronics that suddenly stop working, and sudden drops in temperature. But it's only men who bear the brunt of the hauntings, often ending up with bloody scratches and bruising. So, don't go there if you're a dude. I think that's kind of the story for that place. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for me. Definitely have some more stories to read in here and in the other magazine. Like I said before, I don't know if I'll get through every single one because Halloween is rapidly approaching, but if you like scary stories and I have some left, I'll keep doing these magazines. If you want to see more from me, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. I notice every single one and I appreciate all of you. I'll see you next time. Bye.